Hello, my name is Jihu Kim, and today I would like to present on the frontiers of artificial intelligence. More fundamentally, I would like to ask the question, to what extent or depth can artificial intelligence AI comprehend and reason from its own and not that of its pre-trained sets? The rapid advancements in artificial intelligence are widely recognized, with models demonstrating proficiency in generating fluent text, creating realistic imagery, and writing advanced code. However, when these models are given tasks beyond their standard operational parameters, their limitations become apparent. Despite numerous advancements, models like ChatGPT 4V have shown 20 to 40% accuracy declines on counterfactual benchmarks and 10.3% accuracy drops for visuals. Therefore, this paper sought to test the limits of AI comprehension, precision, multimodality, and problem-solving skills using humanity's least understood subject, quantum mechanics. The presentation will be as follows from the introduction to the final conclusion. This paper's objective was to optimize prompt methodologies for ChatGPT o1 to comprehend quantum mechanics, an intrinsically challenging topic requiring deep reasoning and inferential thinking due to its counterintuitive nature. Achieving success in optimizing AI comprehension in this highly abstract subject would represent a significant advancement in artificial intelligence. To effectively control pre-trained knowledge and probe deeper layers of understanding beyond standard memorization, we used an analogy of the Stern-Gerlach experiment. The Stern-Gerlach experiment is a cornerstone of quantum physics. It empirically confirmed the principles of quantum superposition and spin quantization. More specifically, in the experiment, a beam of silver atoms was passed through an inhomogeneous magnetic field, which displayed two discrete paths rather than one, as would have been predicted by classical mechanics. This ultimately demonstrates quantum superposition, interference, and decoherence. In the analogy that we used, the apples represented quantum particles, while the experimental apparatus was shown using sorting boxes, each with a colored pair, analogous to the binary spin measurements at different angles, ensuring that the model primarily solves from its autonomous reasoning only. Moving to our experimental procedure, we employed 5 initial methods to effectively deliver the Stern-Gerlach analogy with optimized comprehension of the non-classical principles. Method 1, linear basis, had no additional enhancement, serving as our control group. Method 2, quantum reinforcement, had a consistent quantum-related domain cues, such as direct inferences to Heisenberg's uncertainty principles, to form more precise internal representations. Method 3, multimodal enhancement, tested the efficacy of visual supports in the analogy delivering process. Method 4, chain of thought, examined the effect of a single long prompt instead of multiple. And method 5, mathematical framework, had an experimentally constructed variation of the Dirac notation, the standard mathematical formalism to build quantum mechanics. Additionally, we evaluated 4 general prompt engineering approaches, combining closed loop for visual analysis and closed loop for problem solving, each represented by CLVA and CLPS. While these approaches and in 5 initial methods enhance the analogy delivering processes, these 4 approaches sought to optimize the comprehension and problem-solving skills of the model before giving it 10 introductory multimodal problems and 10 advanced multimodal problems. The 4 approaches included a holistic approach with both CLVA and CLPS to test their joint effectiveness. CLPS only for iterative training on quantum solving skills, CLVA only for iterative feedback on visual analysis, and lastly, an open loop prompting approach that used neither CLVA nor CLPS, examining the effect of completely removing closed loop prompting. More specifically, in CLPS, the model was given a tiered multimodal problem set, testing its application of quantum principles to introductory and advanced problems. For every incorrect answer, the model was provided with a tailored cycle of iterative correction prompts, or ICPs. until the model successfully answered all problems. The ICPs were not only a way of correcting the mistakes that the ChatGPT made, but also a way of guiding the model's inferential process by identifying specific logical errors or providing the necessary domain cues toward the correct reasoning pathway. In CLVA, the model was initially given detailed instructions and a Q&A session on the visual analogy diagrams. Subsequently, the model was given two images with varying spatial complexity to describe and analyze as a testing basis. While CLVA also provided ICPs, it only focused on enhancing the model's vision encoders. Here were the results. For the 10 introductory problems, CLVA, or closed loop for visual analysis, exhibited consistently reduced effectiveness with an accuracy 3.36 to 19.89% less than other approaches. From a t-test comparing approaches with and without CLVA, the defectiveness of CLVA had a p-value of 0.0413. Conversely, CLPS effectively performed 2.87 to 24.83% higher than other approaches. To analyze the low performance of CLVA as the vision encoder and language model were trained separately, intense visual training only exacerbated the modality misalignment, especially regarding compositional reasoning. More fundamentally, the vision encoder's output consisted of low-level pixel data, whereas the language model operates on high-level abstract concepts, creating such a semantic gap. Second, vision encoders, often based on vision transformers or convolutional neural networks known as CNNs, are optimized for general tasks such as image classification rather than structural interpretation, with studies proving even a 50% drop for spatial analysis. Hence, visual analysis cannot be properly optimized due to this inherent flaw. Lastly, long CLVA prompts disperse self-attention layers across too many visual tokens, causing both self and cross-attention layers to overlook critical diagram details necessary for accurate compositional reasoning. On the other hand, analyzing closed loops for problem solving, CLPS was the most effective as a used in-context learning or ICL. which provides the accurate necessity to actually avoid the challenges of large parameters such as overfitting by explicitly focusing attention heads on optimizing existing data and consequently freezing internal parameters. Yet, unlike traditional few-shot or one-shot learning offering limited feedback, CLPS offered constant iterative correction prompts, or ICPs, to refine outputs, highlighting the significance of tailored iterations. Additionally, the CLPS results follow the concept depth hypothesis by gradually increasing the given task complexity to stretch from shallow to deeper layers of comprehension. For the 10 advanced problems, however, the open loop approach achieved the highest accuracy, which was 2.87 to 24.83% higher than other approaches. A direct ANOVA comparison proved the highest significance of a 0.018 p-value. For advanced problems, unlike CLVA and CLPS, the absence of long iterative prompts in open loop prompting evades excessive tokens and hence context truncation and attention saturation inherent to reaching the boundaries of a model's maximum context window. Without iterative loops, the model's attention heads no longer overfit to limited sample problem-solving strategies, past mistakes, or any necessary errors that the model made in the previous modules, allowing the necessary flexibility and reasoning in unfamiliar non-classical problems. Thus, this shows how iterative closed loops can be a regressive factor for complex, new, and highly conceptual problems. While their effects were rather dormant for introductory problems, at advanced levels, method 2, quantum reinforcement, And method 5, mathematical framework, optimizing domain cues were notably effective with accuracies 4.73 to 28.42% higher than methods 1, 3, and 4. Furthermore, a t-test between methods with and without domain cues provided a critical p-value of 0.037. The effective domain cues used in methods 2 and 5 were dormant in introductory problems due to their relative simplicity and independent problem solving. However, in the more advanced problems, the domain cues revived pre-trained quantum knowledge by guiding self-attention layers to form conceptual clusters. This optimized the transformer mechanism as it triggered recognizable activation patterns in neural networks, also called CNNs, allowing the attention heads to prioritize high-level abstractions and reduce irrelevant tangents, minimizing generic hallucination. In conclusion, with past studies proving drastic AI performance drops in spatial, conceptual, and flexible reasoning, this paper strives to optimize these challenges using counterintuitive quantum mechanics, with an analogy of the Stirner law experiment to control access to pre-trained knowledge. Consequently, four key results were found. First, for introductory problems, while CLVA suffered from misalignment and cognitive overload, iterative shot learning via CLPS reached deeper levels of comprehension by optimizing given parameters. At advanced levels, open loop prompting's lack of iterations optimized the attention mechanism and minimized cognitive overload, with the necessary flexibility for unfamiliar problems. Explicit domain cues demonstrated by methods 2 and 5 significantly enhanced performance by optimizing domain cues to retrieve deeper and relevant data. Future prospects include using these optimized methodologies to assist educators, researchers, and physicists in teaching and understanding quantum mechanics in the future. Using these quantum geared techniques, AI can be an effective assistant in calculating complex quantum outcomes as well. This can further accelerate scientific advancements and research as both AI and the human race will strive to learn the mysteries of quantum mechanics in tandem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jihu. It was an incredibly detailed presentation, and I loved how you broke it down so people who don't have knowledge in the field can also understand it. Like I am from I do neuroscience. I'm not from this field, right? But it was very easy to follow through. It was incredibly detailed and very self-explanatory. So thanks for such a wonderful presentation. I wanted to ask one thing. I saw in the start when you were presenting, I noticed that you had written an affiliation with Samsung. So, how are you affiliated with Samsung? What do you have going on there?
So it's not like I'm directly affiliated with Samsung. It's more like I was introduced to a person who works at Samsung because he is a close friend of my father. And through him, I kind of learned this process of research where I got to learn the process of not only learning quantum mechanics and AI, but also the process of analyzing data, the process of um, I guess like writing a full research paper on my own. And I think this was really helpful and I needed to include him as a strong affiliation because in the process, before joining CCIR, I had little experience with researching, and this research project itself took a lot of data and a lot of training for to reach the level of refinement.
Got it. Thank you very much, Jihu. Again, it was an incredible presentation. I'll open the floor for question and answers. We'll see if there are any questions. We'll see it for 2 to 3 minutes if new questions pop up. So basically, there would be a particular tab or button which says question and answer. If there are any new open questions, they would appear there, and then you can pick those questions, type in the answer, or speak yourself for yourself, whichever
Mhm.
way you prefer. So we'll wait for 2 minutes, see if more questions pop up. Um, Till
Mhm.
that time, you can also share behind the scenes of all this project work. How did you manage it with your school? How easy or difficult it was, if you have anything to share at all.
Well, in my case, To me, this was very difficult to accomplish because I actually initially wrote this research paper to submit to different science fairs. And to match that deadline, I suppose it was really difficult. And furthermore, I actually started this research project with a passion for quantum mechanics. So I was um, less familiar with artificial intelligence. However, researching more in depth about the connections between artificial intelligence and the potential benefits that both artificial intelligence and current physicists can have upon both of each other's strengths, I think that was such a rewarding experience for me. Furthermore, I guess one of the most interesting experiences I had with such a research project was that researching using ChatGPT, a tool, I suppose, that we use on a daily basis and we find so comfortable. It was surprising to find this clear restrictions and limitations that such a model could actually display when presented with quantum mechanics or any non-classical problem.
Got it. Great. You have explored this topic in a great depth, and I see that you came in with expectation of learning about a different topic, but then you found another topic and you connected your passion with a new project. So you made it into a new passion project, if I may say so. So it was wonderful to see your journey and what it produced. So congratulations on that, and it was a lovely presentation. Um, and I think there are no questions at the moment, but it was lovely to witness this presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.